Founded in 2004 to provide busy New Yorkers with support to integrate wellness back into their lives, Mind Over Matter Health and Fitness is thriving. Here now to share more is my man, Joshua. Joshua's in the house. I told you about the Joshua tree. We got our crew. Byron's in the house.
That's a great
Joshua
guy.
Margolis, he's the founder of Mind Over Matter. Give him another big round of applause. Live on Open Channel 67. Welcome, everybody. Joshua, tell us about Mind Over Matter.
Well, essentially, Mind Over Matter was created to provide people fitness who don't necessarily have accessibility to a gym. Normally, people associate, well, all right, if I have to work out, I have to go to a gym. Not necessarily the case. We're trying to show people that you could do everything you could do at a gym or at a health club or at a Y right in your own home, apartment, backyard, park, office, any place you have space this big, you have space to work out.
So what do you do to help facilitate all of this?
Exactly. Well, what we try to do is, I mean, look, here's the thing when it comes to fitness. It's one of those concepts that we all know we should be doing. We all know we should make time. We all know it's going to improve our quality of life, healthy life, look better, feel better, but yet somehow, some way, we don't do it. Certainly, exactly, our population shows that most people do not exercise. So what we want to try to do is find that missing link, find that something that's going to make that individual get into a regular exercise program that perhaps they didn't in the past.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for some time. When did you start it?
I've been doing this, well, I've been a trainer since probably '99, but Mind Over Matter has been around for the past 6 or 7 years, almost 7 years. And, you know, we've been expanding since we started. Originally, it was just personal training, lifting weights, things like that. But as we get older, we realize that there are other avenues to explore that aren't necessarily about how much weight you put up, how heavy you put up. It's more about exercise, movement, things like yoga, things like Pilates, things like boot camp classes, where don't think about how much weight can you lift, just think about moving, stretching, exercising, anything that's going to get your heart rate up, anything that's going to get your muscles pumping. Right.
What separates you from other fitness organizations?
You know, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll have sort of one concept that they push. There's a lot of, you know, all you need to do is turn on the infomercial and you see there's this concept, the newest DVD out there or the newest piece of exercise equipment. We try not
the Brazilian exercise, you know.
Exactly, and people buy that, and if that makes you work out, then by all means, I think that's fantastic. However,
it's a new dance, not the dance.
Yeah,
but the,
well, no, they have now. You're on point. A lot of dance, you know, classes that are simply models for exercise. So they certainly work. You know, there's the Zumba, which is that.
There you go.
The Latin dance, and you know, look, anything where people are having a good time and they're working out, that's the best bet. But the idea is. You don't want to necessarily do just one thing. And I don't think there's one fitness concept out there that is head and shoulders above something else. If it's a fitness concept that makes you do it and do it over an extended amount of time, then that works.
What made you want to get involved in this and start this business?
You know, I have to say I was always an athletic kid. I was never the kid, though, lifting weights in the gym. That was never me. That was never my thing. I was more the outdoor.
You lifted your own weight.
Yeah, lifted my own weight. Look, I was the one doing push-ups, squats, lunges. I was the one out playing sports, playing basketball, you know, things like that. And because of that, it sort of got me into this field. And also, I was never, you know, people are surprised when they find what I do. I was never the star athlete. That was never me.
Yeah.
I was always the kid that had to work really hard just to make the team.
Right.
So I think because of that, I can identify more with everyday people, not people that have that natural athletic gift, which you're talking about 0.1% of the population.
Well, you weren't the fifth person chosen in the basketball game.
No, but definitely not. Definitely not. But I was out there always working on my game.
Right.
I was out there practicing as often as I could. I think basically for me to get where I had to be, I had to work hard to do it. And that's what it's going to take for people who want to exercise and be successful at it.
What areas do you specialize in?
We have a couple of disciplines that we offer, several. Our big three are personal training, which is weight training, Pilates, yoga, and what we've just added recently has been boxing.
Pilates sounds like something new.
Pilates is actually, it's funny how certain disciplines have been around for so long, and then only recently do they gather steam. And Pilates has been around since World War I. And the creator, Joseph Pilates, was injured in the war. He was bedridden for almost a year, and he had to come up with an exercise that he could do lying in bed. Nobody even thought about it for 60 years, 80 years, and then a couple of years ago, now it's, you know, the latest and greatest thing. So things go in cycles all the time, fitness-wise.
How does Pilates work?
Pilates works, originally the concept is you're on the ground, and you use your own body weight as resistance. No additional machines, no additional weight, just you working from the core out
Got it.
to the external, fingers and toes, and working everything between. It's a lengthening discipline, lengthening the muscles of your body.
Beautiful.
So,
And tell us about the advantages of home fitness as opposed to going out to the gym.
yeah, without a doubt. And that's the biggest thing. I think people who are exercising, the number one excuse is time. I don't have the time. It's time and money. Those are probably the two big ones. So what we try to do is get rid of that time excuse. So by us showing up at your home and working with you and doing a program with you, you already get rid of the excuses, oh, I didn't have time to make it to the gym.
We've got to take time to clean your house, so when you come over, you won't go tell everybody else that your house is jammed up.
That's right, that's right. They have to keep it clean, and it's easy because, you wake up in the morning, you walk out into your main room, and that's your gym. You don't need to pack a bag. You don't need to worry about, paying membership at the gym. You don't have to worry about any of that.
No.
You have everything right in the convenience of your own home, and since we don't use a lot of equipment, you buy a jump rope, you buy little hand weights, and that's enough to keep an exercise regimen
How
going.
old those floor mats?
Floor mats are good, but I tell people if they have a comfortable enough, if they don't mind lying on the floor, this probably speaks to what you just said about keeping it clean. You want to keep it clean if you're lying down on the ground.
Yeah. How people find out more information about what you do?
Certainly, they could find us on our websites, mindovermatternyc.com, and they can always contact us through all our information on that. It's mindovermatternyc.
Yeah, you mentioned boxing. That's something that I was going to turn pro at one time, and
that's what I heard.
I did all those things that necessary in order to become the best at what I did in that sport. Of course, I also played baseball and football and all that stuff, but boxing was one of the main things that helped me to discipline myself to do the things necessary to become, pretty successful.
I think that's a great way to look at it. I think there's so many of those aspects in exercise that it's not just about the discipline, it's what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And not just the physical part you get out of it, but the mental, the emotional aspects that you get from it.
And it has a lot to do with mind over matter, too, because sometimes you win these fights before you even get in the ring.
That's true. Listen, the best fighters, they were the strongest mentally. They really were.
So what are some of the things that you do when you do the boxing training?
Well, the boxing, what we do is our instructors have like the pads and the mitts, and we just bring out a set of gloves, set of pads, and before we even start that, actually, we'll start with some calisthenic work, get your heart rate up, get the blood pumping, and then we'll bring in some jump rope, which adds coordination, and then we'll start doing the punching. Now, what we do is we focus more on posture, form, movement than how hard you hit the target. Now, granted, you want to hit it hard, but you want to hit it the right way. You want to hit the correct way. You don't want to injure yourself. And to be honest, most people that are going to box now, they're not turning pro. They're there for the exercise. They're there for the sport.
Exactly.
They're there to enjoy themselves. So we want to get them to do it right, and then we'll start worrying about ducking punches after that.
Yeah. We'll have Cool Clyde do that part. I'll do a little bit of jump rope.
We'll see. We'll get him in the ring. Well, maybe we'll get you guys sparring up there. We'll see what we can do.
I'll keep my distance. I'll use the jab. All right. So give us some more information on where we can reach you again.
Sure. You guys can find out a little bit more about us on the website, which is mindovermatternyc.com, and you can contact us via phone as well, which is 212-865-9290.
All right, Joshua, we'll take a quick break right here, but when we come back, we'll put all those principles into action, all right? Joshua, he's going to show us some boxing techniques to increase endurance, get your heart rates going, and that's all happening coming up next, so don't move. Matter of fact, you can kick off your shoes and relax your feet, put down a mat if you want to. We'll be right back. Very good. I'm bouncing. Welcome back, everybody. We have Joshua Margolis. And Bob is in the house, too. All right. So we're going to do a lot of things here. We'll start off with something light, and then we'll kick into it.
We're going to go with basic, simple stuff, too, because like I said, nobody's going to be sparring against each other right here. But what I do have for you, we're going to make it as authentic as possible for you.
Let's see. Let's see. In a long time.
Well, we're just going to get you in there like that one, and then we'll put another set on you. Now, normally what we're doing if we're boxing, if we were going to do a real round, is we would put wraps on your hands.
Yes.
So we're not going to do that right now because we're not going to have you hit too hard. But the reason why we do the wraps is to make sure you don't break a knuckle or break a finger. Because what happens is you hit something stiff, it's going to reverb into your hand, it's going to affect. So boxing is a great sport because what we do is we do aerobic and anaerobic at the same time. Aerobic, sweat, get the blood pumping, lungs. Anaerobic, muscles. triceps, shoulders, abdominals. You ever see these boxers? The physiques on these guys are really off the charts because they're using every muscle in their body. So first things first is we want to do fighting stance. Fighting stance is going to be feet slightly like this, slightly bent. Always want to have a little bit of bend in your knees. Why? If you're straight up like this, you can't react quick. Okay? If you're too wide, you can't react quick. If you're too close, you can't react quick. We want to make sure you got about hip to shoulder width apart, fighting stance like this. So everybody's going to put their hands up just like this, okay? So the first thing we always want to do is number one, which is a jab, okay? Jab is the weak hand, not the right, it's the left. That's just how you feel your opponent out. So jab is a twist when you punch and bring it back. So it's a twist and you're going to step with it. So it's almost pop. A pop and a snap. That's right, pop. I'm going to stand here. He's got a long reach right here, so I want to make sure I stand off to the side.
Got hit with
That's
that
right,
one.
that's right. So it's almost like hands up, pop, bring it back. So let's do it twice. Pop, pop. Good, bring it back. 2 pops, 1, 2. Okay, so we got the jab. The next one, this is going to be the one that you take out your opponent with, is going to be your punch. Okay, punch is full body,